Being a housewife is not a reward. Being a woman of leisure is a reward.
But that's the same thing.
No, they're not. No, they're not. If you're a woman of leisure, if you are a woman of leisure, you don't have responsibilities. Your responsibility is being a woman of leisure. If you are a housewife, you maintain and you manage the house. That's not a reward. It's a job.
Women are particularly programmed not to say no in this culture. It costs them hugely in terms of mental and physical health. They looked at 2,000 women over a 10-year period, and those women that were unhappily married and didn't express their feelings were 4 times as likely to die as those women who were also unhappy, but they did express their feelings. So the issue wasn't happiness, the issue was authenticity.
Yes.
Self-expression.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is profound.
Have you ever heard of a man say, I'm not going to do my master's because my girlfriend says that we're going to get married? Oh, I'm not going to travel. I've got this opportunity to go and do my master's in another country where I can start a whole life and change my life around. But my girlfriend says we're going to get married, so I don't need to do that. Have you ever heard of a man turn down an opportunity to better his life?
Hello fam, how are you all doing? I hope you all are doing good. Please take a moment to like this video and subscribe. Thank you so much for your support. Many men believe that simply being a man is a badge of honor that entitles them to automatic respect and submission from women without ever having to earn it. Let's have a look at these videos.
Some of you men, you don't know how to be men in your house. Be tired of your wife controlling you. If your wife controls you, you are a useless man. Men, don't let your wife control you. What you say must happen. That's why women were told to submit.
What's your take?
Do patriarchy. Repeal the 19th.
Why do you think patriarchy is good?
It keeps women in their role, in their place, cleaning the house, supper on the table every night.
Are you just saying patriarchy is good because women serve men?
Absolutely.
Why do you think women have an obligation to serve men?
Because we said so. We really shot ourselves in the foot because we give you your rights and then now we're outnumbered.
Because I said so is not an argument.
When a man says something, that's how it goes.
Do you believe in consent?
Of course I believe in consent.
Well, then what a man says is not what it goes. Obviously, her will is considered. Right?
No, a man should just have self-control.
Well, you just said that patriarchy is good, means male authority means that women would submit to that authority, which means that their consent and will is irrelevant.
Yes, submission can be voluntary.
So if women don't want to submit, then what?
Oh no, that's a tough one. I might have to think about that one a little bit, but definitely do patriarchy.
Well, I don't think you've established that. I would even argue that patriarchy collapses in on itself and harms men.
I think we were doing good before women entered the workforce.
Women have always been in the workforce.
You're talking about the exceptions to the rule. The majority of women weren't in the workforce.
Incorrect. The majority of women were in the workforce.
I don't know.
And you're talking about the exception. You're talking about bourgeoisie white women.
No, I don't believe that to be true.
It is very much true. What is your source?
History.
Can you give something specific?
I can't give you a source at the moment, no.
So you're just coming up here just to tell us your feelings?
I was invited.
You did join. You could have declined.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to be rude.
You are being rude. So I don't think it's rude that you want to press and subjugate women.
No.
Why is that not rude? Why shouldn't we have a matriarchy then?
I'm not going to take orders from a woman.
Why not?
It's just not going to happen.
Wait, the fact that you're up here shows that you took orders.
Because it was an invitation.
She said if you're going to chirp in the comments, come up. And you.
That was after.
You came up. You took an order.
That was an interesting conversation, a spicy one. I'm pretty sure he didn't see that coming. Let's see what people are saying in the comment section. If women were meant to be subservient to men, we wouldn't need to be told over and over what our place is. Nature doesn't need reminding to run its course. Exactly. If something is truly natural, it does not need constant reinforcement. The fact that people keep trying to push outdated ideas onto women says a lot about who is actually benefiting from it. They have known all throughout history that we were more powerful. They held us down because they knew if we rose, they didn't stand a chance. If patriarchy is so natural, why does it have to continuously be forced upon people? Nobody has to force a fish to swim. Systems that are truly natural and self-sustaining does not require continuous enforcement and justification. The persistent efforts to uphold patriarchal structures suggest they are more a product of societal conditioning than an inherent state of being. Men are delusional. They are best at submissive roles. They take orders and try hard to impress other men, have no willpower and absolutely no self-control. It's interesting how society frames submission as a feminine trait. Yet, men are deeply entrenched in hierarchical structures, constantly seeking validation and direction from other men, whether it's in the corporate space, social groups, even personal relationships. Their interactions often revolve around power dynamics. It's all about who leads, who follows, or who holds the highest status. We see that play out in relationship, in a male and female romantic relationship. Men always want to control. In many ways, their entire world is built around submission to authority, just under the guise of strength and dominance. He did not just say because we said so and then continued on with his thought like that was a mature and legitimate response. Precisely, resorting to because we said so as a justification only highlights the fragility of the argument. If a position cannot stand on reason, logic, merit, then it's merely an assertion of power rather than a legitimate stance. Many men operate under the belief that simply being a man is a badge of honor that entitles them to automatic respect and submission from women without ever having to earn it. But respect is not granted by default. We all know that. It must be cultivated through character, actions, and leadership. Did he say when he as the man gave us right? I know a lot of you all don't like that, but God gave me my rights as a woman way before man gave women rights. The right to work and keep her own money, the right to be treated fairly and kindly, and not to be manipulated or live in toxicity, which is a valid reason for divorce. The right to choose to stay home should we want to raise our kids. So many things that men like him think is conservative is not in fact conservative. The video coming up next is an argument on the difference between a housewife and a woman of leisure. Let's have a look.
Being a housewife is not a reward. Being a woman of leisure is a reward.
But that's the same thing.
No, they're not. No, they're not. If you're a woman of leisure, if you are a woman of leisure, you don't have responsibilities. Your responsibility is being a woman of leisure. If you are a housewife, you maintain and you manage the house. That's not a reward. It's a job. Whether it's only 20 hours a week, it's still a job.
If there's no
if you're trying to reward me because I was there through the tough times, let me be a woman of leisure. Let me be a kept woman. That is a reward. Rewarding me with washing dishes is not a reward.
Let's see what people are saying in the comment section. She's right, and it makes sense that every woman wants to be a woman of leisure. Problem is that 99% of women that have that type of lifestyle is not realistic. It's not a discussion of value or deservedness. For most men, it's just not financially plausible. A woman of leisure has a maid, cook, and a nanny, spends time at gym, spa. A housewife just works in the home instead of outside, cooking, cleaning, attending to the children. There is a big difference between being a housewife and a woman of leisure. One is doing a full-time unpaid labor, while the other has the freedom to enjoy life without the burdens of domestic work. People love to glamorize staying at home, but the reality depends on the privilege and the resources available. I don't know why this is even a topic of discussion. The average man in this country can't afford a housewife or woman of leisure anyway. Both got to work and both should pick up their weight around the house. People just want to argue and complain. She makes an excellent point. The reality is that the vast majority of modern households require dual incomes. They need dual incomes to sustain a reasonable quality of life. The notion of a housewife or a woman of leisure is largely inaccessible to the average person, and that's a bitter truth. And having this as a debatable topic is more aspirational than practical. Rather than men focusing on outdated gender roles, I think they should focus more on building a home where both partners contribute to the progress of the home as a team, be it financially or domestically, based on their unique circumstances. As a stay-at-home wife and mom, she's absolutely correct. I actually work. Keeping a household running and functioning requires effort, intelligence, energy, time, and resources. I'm never bored because I'm always tired. There is nothing leisurely about being a stay-at-home mother or stay-at-home wife. There are no days off, and your job starts when your eyes open and ends when your eyes close. Nah, She has a point. Being a stay-at-home parent or wife is still a part-time to full-time job. Requires just as much effort to organize for kids and the family, etc. Providing leisure is ultimately a man's dream, but we must have higher respect for ladies who choose to work or stay at home, and the ladies must do the same. Otherwise, we're basing standards on control rather than teamwork, and we know men love to control. Emotional safety should be foundational in relationships, but that is not the case, because some women find themselves self-censoring just to avoid conflict rather than feeling heard in their relationship. Let's have a look at this video.
Women are particularly programmed not to say no in this culture. It costs them hugely in terms of mental and physical health. They looked at 2,000 women over a 10-year period, and those women that were unhappily married and didn't express their feelings were 4 times as likely to die as those women who were also unhappy, but they did express their feelings. So the issue wasn't happiness, the issue was authenticity.
Yes.
Self-expression.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is profound.
It's frightening.
It's frightening. But why are we not talking about that? I mean, so you say 4 times more likely to die by simply not expressing.
Yeah. We live in a society which very much is dependent on roles. And roles depend on how other people see you. So we all want to be seen in the best possible light. And society punishes us for being authentic.
Let's have a look at the comment section. I watched my mother die of cancer after 43 years of smiling while my father verbally abused her and neglected her emotionally. Sad. Getting married was the second worst decision I ever made. Getting a student loan to get an education was the first. Young women should listen to older women to avoid same pitfalls. Women being authentic are usually just labeled as difficult. However, I'd rather be difficult than walked all over. The label of difficult is often weaponized against women that set boundaries, speak their minds, and refuse to conform to outdated expectations. In reality, authenticity and self-respect should never be seen as a threat, but rather as a mark of strength. Don't let anyone silence you. Remember, the society uses shame to keep people quiet, to shut people up. If being difficult means advocating for oneself instead of being complacent, then it is a badge of honor rather than an insult. Men thrive in marriages, women's careers actually suffer, and our lifespan shortens. Who genuinely wants to hear the expression? Is the problem the authenticity of women or lack of people in their lives with competence and desire to hear and receive them? This is a compelling question. Too often, the issue isn't with women's authenticity, but with a society that struggles to embrace the perspectives that challenges their status quo. If genuine expression is dismissed or met with resistance, perhaps the real problem lies in the unwillingness or inability of others to engage with thoughts that requires nuance, empathy, and self-reflection. Women don't feel safe speaking about our feelings to male partners, especially when we don't feel heard or our more negative feelings are seen as an insult to the male partner's ego. Her comment points out a crucial issue in emotional dynamics when open communication is hindered with the fragility of ego. In such a case, genuine connection suffers. Emotional safety should be foundational in relationships, yet many women find themselves self-censoring just to avoid conflict. Rather than feeling heard, they just want peace. They don't want fight. Men should focus more on not viewing emotions as criticism. Rather, they should recognize them as pathways to deeper understanding and mutual growth. Being authentic as a woman is very hard in a male-dominated society. It's very unsafe as a woman to be authentic. It's getting better, but then we are being put down, downsized, excluded when we speak authentically. Most men are afraid of real women and their feelings. The struggle for authenticity in a male-dominated society is deeply tied to power structures. The power structures that have long dictated which voices are valued and which voices should be dismissed. Women who express themselves openly often face resistance, not because their emotions or perspectives lack merit, but because they challenge deeply ingrained hierarchies that has been set up in the society. If we talk about wanting to see the society progress in the right way, true progress will only come when authenticity is not seen as a threat, but as a necessary force for societal growth.
Have you ever heard of a man say, I'm not going to do my master's because my girlfriend says that we're going to get married? Oh, I'm not going to travel. I've got this opportunity to go and do my master's in another country where I can start a whole life and change my life around. But my girlfriend says we're going to get married, so I don't need to do that. Have you ever heard of a man turn down an opportunity to better his life because he's going to get married to a woman? Have you ever heard that? No, but my gender... Oh my God, in my inbox, I have young girls saying to me, and young girls asking me, oh, Hima, my boyfriend says we're going to get married. So I wanted to go and do a second degree, but he says we're going to get married, so it doesn't matter. Oh, Hima, I've just got an opportunity. My uncle says that he wants to take me to another country and start my life over and see if I can better my life in that country. But my boyfriend says that we're going to get married. I don't need to do that. Young ladies, do not miss an opportunity to better your life. Stop letting go and stop dropping amazing opportunities to better your life because of a man. Because after that man serves you breakfast, I said after, not if he serves you breakfast. After he serves you breakfast, you are the one that they will call you a bitter old woman. In order to avoid being the bitter old woman that men call women, make sure that you do not miss any opportunity to better your life, because there is no reward for suffering for a man. Any relationship that takes away from you and doesn't add anything to you, it's not a relationship that you should be in. If that relationship requires you to let go of your education, let go of an opportunity, let go of your business, let go of your talent, ambition, vision, or any dreams that you have in your life, any relationship that requires you to do that is a toxic relationship that you shouldn't have anything to do with it. You missing opportunity for your own life doesn't show that you love anyone any better. And the person that you're missing that opportunity for, to be with them, to show that you love them, would not appreciate what you have done for them. Again, women, choose you first. Take care of you first. Everything else around you will fall into place when you choose you first.
Mom, please don't even bother yourself because they won't listen. I saw someone on this app. She stopped being a nurse to go farm in a village with her husband. She is now regretting it. My friend turned down a full funded scholarship in Europe to prove her love. After some months, the man broke up with her, saying he can't have his kids with such a fool who turns down progression. Wow. I think you are missing the point. While the value of a man is directly related to his achievements, a woman's value isn't. So the reasons and the urgency for decision differs for both genders. This is coming from a man, and this is her response. Then you need to do more research for men and their sperm count and the health of their sperm. You all have been expiring women, and now we have data to prove otherwise. Women, choose yourself first. I have a video coming up on this sperm health and all that. We'll talk about it when I make that video. Video is coming up soon. If you'd love to watch more videos like this, click this video to watch a woman share her often first date experience with a controlling man. And I'll see you all in another one. Thanks for watching.